the base of the 337th Artillery Regiment, 179th Division, Nanking Military Region.
你们背得真好啊！今天来的可能还是仔细检查嘞。
We lived in a room like this one for several weeks. This way, we observe the daily activities of a company. Right now, it's 5:30 a.m.
I'm the commander of this regiment. My name is Wu Hai Hai. I enlisted in 1953. I was born in Anhui province, in the county of Luqiang. I'm from a poor peasant family. There are 5 people in my family, 3 children, and my wife. My wife, Su Sen Liang, works in a soap factory. Here, I live with the deputy commander, who's over there. My name is Wang Ken-sen. I was born in 1937 in Anhui province. The commander and I are from the same area. I joined the army in 1956. About my family, I'm married, and we have 1 child. My wife works in a factory. She's helping to build socialism that way. This is our office. This is his desk, and that one's mine. The 2 of us share this closet. The top part is his, the bottom is mine. We keep our books and a few other things in it. From here you can see the barracks. Down there is the basketball court. I play basketball a lot with the men. I really like playing. As for becoming an officer, the best men are chosen from the ranks by their fellow soldiers. We discuss the candidates in our party group, and the party committee approves the choice. That's how you become an officer. Are there any military schools? There are military schools, but they're not so important. They're mostly used to help the officers become more competent and improve their skills. But for the most part, officers are trained in the field. How is the work week organized? Each week, we have 4 days of military training, 1 day of political studies, half a day for the party activities, and half a day for the youth league. Saturday afternoon is for the youth league activities. Time is allotted for the company's needs too. For example, for growing crops or catching up on a class.
哎，在这，你到这里，你到这里，转一步。哎，没问题，对。转一步。哎呀，完了。啊，不是的。
At around 10 o'clock, the soldiers have some time off.
哎呀，吃亏了，吃亏了，哎呦，哎呀，这个过去。哎呀，也拿掉了。对，乖，这个家伙花了好大代价。挖掉了。哎呀，完了。这里嘛，挑这里讲这个，一样的小心。下几个没动，下哪里没动？没有了。他那个换了，别讲，下不了。上我这里的话讲。行啊，我要来干。班长，慢点啊。好。慢点啊。咱们对啊。那个。好的，结束了啊，一盘。我们其他干部还有没有啊？没有。大家呢？没有。我看今天这个会是不是就这样开
Once a week, the squad leaders and the officers have a meeting.
啊，这个发言的同志。
If someone would like to start, we can begin.
好，下面我来讲。
I'll start.
下面我把我们7班。
I've summarized the comments my squad made yesterday about the company officers. Now, I'll explain them here to the squad leaders and the officers. There are 3 points. First, about our company commander. He's not strict enough about our company regulations. More specifically, the routine cleaning of the weapons is sometimes overlooked. Also, we're not careful enough about the way the mess hall is run. We've started to notice that we've been wasting food. We waste a little every day, and in a year, this adds up to a lot of food. If everyone wasted food like this, it would be disastrous. The company commanders should be more strict about this. Our company commander has a strong sense of responsibility. He's very demanding and quite strict during training. But his criticisms aren't always right. He's sometimes overcritical. For example, some of the new recruits aren't in shape yet. They need practice. Instead of making ineffective criticisms, the company commander should help them by pointing out their weaknesses. That's what we have to say about our company commander. I think that in some cases, the company officers, especially myself, haven't been as thorough as we could have been in our political work. No, it's not your fault. It's mostly mine. No, it's my fault. All the squad leaders have said so. One of our squad members dropped a piece of bread on the ground, so he fed it to the pigs. The instructor saw it happen, but instead of talking to the men privately, he criticized him in front of the whole company at the General Assembly. I think the criticism was right, but the way he did it was wrong. You have to find the best way to make each criticism. Comrade, you say that the instructor didn't deal with it properly. I say we must criticize all faults, no matter how. I think we should take the way we criticize into account. I don't agree with you. We must criticize each mistake. We should have high standards in the Army. Exactly. We should have high standards in the way we criticize, too. I believe that we should make our criticisms carefully, with the right approach. And we have to be aware of what effect the criticisms have. The purpose of criticism is to educate. If we want to educate, then we have to use the right approach. I've really learned a lot from this. Any other comments? So, is the meeting over? That's it then.
Being in the Army is a privilege in China. Although anyone over the age of 18 is eligible, not everyone who wants to can join. Perhaps the most important requirement is strength of character. Honesty, for example. Class background is important, too. The son of a worker or peasant has the best chance. Although almost all young people would like to join, only 1 out of 15 will be chosen. Today's menu is pork with green peppers, eggplant, soup and rice.
He's the company commander. I'm an instructor. He's second in command. He's a courier, secretary, bugler, and he's also a courier. Do the officers always eat with the men? Yes. It's one aspect of the unity between officers and soldiers. This way, we all confront the same difficulties. Officers and soldiers are politically equal. We work, we eat, we relax, and we train together. Do the officers eat the same food as the soldiers? Yes, we all eat the same thing. Look over there. It's the same food. Why don't you wear officer's stripes? Wearing stripes sets officers apart from soldiers. Not wearing stripes brings us together. When were they abolished? In 1965. So how can you tell the difference between an officer and a soldier? An officer's jacket has 4 pockets, and a soldier's has only 2. Why the 2 extra pockets? Soldiers wear ammunition belts, so extra pockets would get in the way. But officers use these pockets for their papers. We try to supply all our own needs. You see these vegetables? We grew them ourselves. And the meat comes from the animals we raise. This morning, I went to the meeting of the officers and the squad leaders. I explained all the criticisms you'd made about the commander and the other company officers. They agreed with all your comments and made their own self-criticisms. During the meeting, we had different ideas on certain issues. For example, about the wasted bread. Some people said that the political instructor used the wrong approach by criticizing the man in front of the whole company. Other people thought he used the right approach. We discussed the problem and worked it out according to the principle that one is divided into two, that the person and the act are separable. This means that the criticism must be aimed at the wrong that was done, and not the person who did it. If you have any other comments to make, or questions to ask, go right ahead. Our discussion will improve the work we're doing in this company, and will help the nation. No, that's it. All our comments have already been reported by the squad leader. Squad number 8 has criticized me, for some very good reasons. About the bread. I didn't know enough about the situation. Not enough. So, I took it a little lightly. Perhaps a little too lightly. Too lightly. I'm glad you brought this up. I think that's good. Very good. You have to stand up straight. Hold the rope so that it's perpendicular to the body. Find the right angle. Put your leg back like this. Hold your right hand out. Hold it out. Step back with your left foot and turn towards the squad leader. Got that? Yes. Let's go over it. All right. There, that's good. But a little more of an angle. Move to the side. Bend your right knee. That's good. Wait for the signal. That's it. Officer, go ahead. On your mark, fire. That's very good. You're improving, getting better. Wait, I'll show you. When you're handed the shell, turn right. Step forward with your right foot, the right foot, and then the left one. Put the head of the shell in first, and lower the base. As you lift, push as hard as you can. As hard as you can.
毛主席10大军事演的之外，还有一个很重要的方面，就是体现了人。
This is a scale model of the Battle of Lingfen, fought in 1948 by the Red Army against Chiang Kai-shek's troops. In reconstructing this battle, these officers are studying the principles for which a people's war is fought. These principles, laid out by Mao Zedong during 30 years of revolutionary warfare, are still considered valid today. In 1927, the Red Army was tiny. It had only 2,000 men, forced to hide in the mountains. Today, it is the People's Liberation Army, the army of a nation 800 million strong. The question is whether or not the standing army of this large nation can stay true to the spirit of popular revolutionary fighters. So far, it has taken long and bitter political struggles, the severing of ties with the Soviet Union, the upheavals of the Cultural Revolution, and the struggle against Lin Piao. Today, the most important issue is how to keep alive the spirit of the early days of the revolution.
I fought in this battle. I'll try to answer your questions. I'm sure the commander will help me if I leave something out. But you won't. Go ahead. After Tang Quan fell, the enemy thought that the battle would be taken up again on this side. So they moved fresh troops to defend the eastern gate. Meanwhile, we set dynamite here, at the enemy's weak point. There was an explosion. It exploded. And just as it was exploding, we attacked. Some of our troops went to the right, some to the left. The rest went through here, here, and went around here to encircle and then break up the enemy's defense line.
The soldiers talk over the plan of action, just as they would before a battle. Later, they'll discuss what happened. They are trying to put military democracy into practice.
Comrades, our strategy depends on the enemy positions, the local terrain, and on our goals. The first 3 positions are held by enemy reinforcement troops. Our main objective is to open up a passageway by wiping out the enemy on hills 2 and 3 with the help of our squad number 5. So what will our strategy be? Who wants to answer? Chairman Mao says, always aim for only one of the enemy's weak points, to be sure to annihilate it, and then destroy the other positions one at a time. It would be better to break through here, right here. The ground is rough, and we're protected from enemy fire. I think we'd do best to break through here, in front of Hill 2, because it's closer to our positions. I don't agree. Explain why not. I don't think we should attack from the right, because it's hilly there. We couldn't spread out, and we'd be exposed to enemy fire from Hill 4. We could lose a lot of men, but it's possible to wipe them out without even exposing ourselves. It's much better from the left, because there's a ravine, which protects us from enemy fire. From here, it would be easier to surround, then trap, and wipe out the enemy. All right? So, here's my plan. Group number 2 takes a position to the right, about 50 yards from here. Group number 1, right in front of them. Group number 3, near the woods. Okay, man your positions. Purse your lips. Put your tongue against the mouthpiece. Take a deep breath and press your lips tightly against the instrument. Here, I'll show you. And now for the drills. Ready? Did you understand? I'll demonstrate. You correct my mistakes. You take the defense, I'll attack. Did you see that? I missed him every time. Sir, your attack was generally strong, but I saw two weak points. First, the thrust wasn't fast enough, not fast enough. And then, your aim wasn't very good. You should attack with more spirit. I'll show you. Look. Yes, I see. My movements were too loose. Sir, one more thing. Before thrusting the bayonet, you moved back, so your opponent could dodge the blow. You lost some momentum when you moved back. And also, you didn't step forward when you thrust the rifle. And you lifted up too high. Your opponent noticed this. That's why your attack failed. Those were good criticisms. Left face, left, forward, double time, march.
The division soldiers cultivate a total of 830 acres of land. Each regiment operates a farm, and each company is responsible for growing vegetables and raising pigs on its own grounds.
I'm in charge of expenditures and bookkeeping for the company. I'm a soldier from squad number 5, 2nd platoon. I was born in Shantung, and I enlisted in 71. I was elected by my section to be on the financial committee. I work with the sergeant major and the quartermaster. We had discussions in each platoon and in each squad. After these meetings, we decided to form this committee. The party committee group approved it. The main job of the financial committee is to supervise the sergeant major's expenditures. The financial committee is responsible for managing the mess hall, for production, yes, we also deal with production, and for all minor expenses, such as the upkeep of the club. There, it's finished. Check it to see if there are any mistakes. Here, you can check this. Check it. After you've gone over it, Chen Qianfu will make a copy of it to post up.
The financial committee is one of the ways the Army is trying to institute economic democracy. Political, military, and economic democracy are what are called in China the three great democracies. The Army is able to pay for 80% of its own needs, including food, everyday items, and some of its arms. The Army does not want to be a drain on the national economy, nor does it want to play an elitist role in the society. The idea is that military men remain the same as ordinary workers. Officers take turns working in the kitchen every day. For 1 month each year, officers become regular soldiers again.
A little less. Watch out. Stoke the fire.
Ground soybeans are made into a rather bland dough. The dough is then used in many different recipes and is a staple part of the diet. With leftover fat from its pigs, the company makes its own soap. There are a few women's combat units, mostly in the Navy and the Air Force. But in general, there are not many women in the Army. These women are not members of the Army. They are officers' wives. Trying to be self-sufficient, they put together a machine to standardize the soap bars. They made it with a pedal, a spring, and a counterweight. Sen Liang is the commander's wife. Her home is a quarter of a mile away from the barracks. Her husband lives in the barracks along with the other officers. He only comes home once a week.
Be quiet. Calm down. Be quiet while Mommy's cooking dinner. Are you doing your homework? Oh, you're back, Daddy. Yes, I'm doing my homework. That's good. Stay here. There. I got a good grade in math. Don't be so selfish. Show him. Show it to your brother. Mommy's making dinner. It'll be ready soon. I'm hungry. Mommy, I want some candy. Mommy, I want some candy. In a little while. You'll get some soon, but stop whining. Here. Here's your harmonica.
Small-scale light industry has been a tradition in the Red Army since the Communist Revolution. The tradition was developed during the Cultural Revolution. This workshop, which produces pharmaceutical goods, has been functioning since 1970. Before, officers' wives stayed home, but now they all work in shops like these.
What kind of medicine are you making? It's gentian. Who will use it? It's primarily for the army. But if there's a surplus, we'll sell it wholesale. What is your husband's job? My husband is head of the political section within the regiment. So your husband's a high-ranking officer. He's the head of the political section. My name is Shu Senhua. My husband is Wang Shuangfu. He commands the 1st Battalion. My husband is deputy commander of the political section. I've been here since 67. My name is Cheng Yufang, and I've been working for 3 years. My husband is head of the 3rd Battalion. Are you paid? Yes. How much? We each make 28 yuans a month. And do you need it? No. My husband makes 90 yuans. That's enough for the family. We're not working for the money, but rather to transform our thinking. Does your family need the money you make here? I work to serve the people. We don't need it to live on. And you? My husband's salary is enough, and I don't think I should sit around doing nothing. If we have two hands, we should put them to good use. Women and men are equal, politically as well as economically. Whatever men can do, we can do too. Women hold up half the sky.
Soldiers and peasants are finishing the construction of a dam near a village about 8 miles from the barracks. These soldiers are helping the villagers build a cultural center. Each company is linked to a village. The soldiers come out once a week to help. They stay longer if there's a lot of work or if it's harvest time. Watch carefully, and then you try. Put your right foot back here. Left foot bent forward. When you're in position, lower the head of the shell. Once it's in there, look inside. With your right hand, push the shell in. About 1 foot. Push like this. Push hard. And that's it. Let's try it.
Not like that. Push as hard as you can. Just one push. Very hard. Start over. The shell should be in this hand.
One of the Army's most important jobs is training the militia. In both the countryside and the city, many millions of men and women participate in militia training programs. The Army itself is much smaller. It organizes large strategic operations, whereas the militia is responsible for local defense. The militia is a real armed force, trained in the handling of heavy weapons. The silt dredged from the bottom of ponds is used as fertilizer. Mao Zedong said in 1938, the army must be one with the people so that they see it as their own army. That kind of army is invincible. To be one with the people, that is still the goal and rule of the army. It is the opposite of the traditional army, an army that is isolated, arrogant, parasitic. The Chinese soldiers helped the people and learned from them as well. During the Communist Revolution, it was mostly peasants who fought in the Red Army. Soldiers and peasants continued to work together side by side. Their destinies and that of the revolution are closely linked.